Chapter 11 Baby Feet Again. Jimmy reminded me about the opening of his father's one-man show. Last summer, Tootsie walked barefoot across one of Frank Fargo's wet canvases, leaving a path of little footprints in the blue paint. We thought Mr. Fargo would go crazy when he saw what happened. Instead, he got an idea. He had Tootsie walk barefoot over 24 wet canvases, and now those paintings were going to be on display in the art gallery in Soho. I like shows, Fudge said, as we were getting ready to go downtown. I know, Dad said, zipping Fudge's jacket. Will they have singing or puppets? No, Dad said, just paintings. A show with just paintings, Fudge was surprised. Did you hear that, Pete? A show with just paintings. Yeah, I heard. Mom came into the living room then, carrying Tootsie, who was dressed in some black velvet outfit that made her look like a baby movie star. Where's the babysitter? Fudge asked. We don't need a babysitter tonight, Mom told him, setting Tootsie down on the sofa. You're leaving Tootsie home by herself? Fudge was even more surprised. Mom laughed. No, we're taking Tootsie to the show. She was trying to get fancy shoes on Tootsie's feet, but Tootsie screamed and kicked, making it impossible. Mom finally gave up and stuffed the shoes into the diaper bag. You're taking Tootsie? Fudge couldn't believe it. Of course we're taking Tootsie, Dad said. And just look at our girl. She's mighty pretty tonight, isn't she? She's too young for a show, Fudge argued. She won't understand it. Without Tootsie, there wouldn't be a show, Dad reminded him. Tootsie held her arms out to me. Up, EP. She waited for me to pick her up. When I did, she pulled my hair. Hey, I said, which only made her laugh and pull harder. Fudge hung on to me, tugging at my jacket. I don't want Tootsie to come with us. I want it to be just you and me, Pete. I know how you feel, I told Fudge, remembering all those times I didn't want him to come along. But you'll get over it. A banner announcing Frank Fargo's show hung outside the art gallery in Soho. It said Baby Feet in big, bold letters, and under that, Frank Fargo. Inside, huge, colorful paintings hung on the walls. When the canvases were spread out on the ground last summer, I didn't realize how big they would look hanging on a wall. You had to study them carefully to see the background of Baby Feet, but they were there. In every painting, the paintings had names like Baby Feet Blueberry and Baby Feet Strawberry. There was one called Baby Feet Storm, and another called Baby Feet Earth. Fudge looked around. Where's the stage? He asked. Where's the seats? Dad explained. It's not that kind of show. It's more like going to an art museum for a special event. Where's the event? Fudge asked. This is the event, Dad told him. No fair, Fudge cried. Dad said, hoping to escape before things could turn worse. I'm going to find Jimmy Fargo. Take me, Fudge cried. Please, Pete, take me with you. I hesitated for a second, then gave in and grabbed Fudge by the hand. But it was crowded in the gallery, and I didn't see Jimmy anywhere. I could walk across paintings too, Fudge told me. I could do it better than Tootsie. Tootsie doesn't go to school. She's not even toilet trained. But she can make animal sounds, I said, trying to keep it light. Who cares about her dumb quacks and her stupid meows? People began to form a circle around Mr. Fargo, who put Tootsie on his shoulder. Here she is, Mr. Fargo announced, the star of my show, the one, the only, Tootsie Pie. Tootsie laughed and grabbed hold of Mr. Fargo's hair. She's probably his biggest fan. And I'm not talking about his paintings. What does Tootsie know about art? For some reason, none of us understood Tootsie like Mr. Fargo. And Tootsie, the only person I know who can get Mr. Fargo to smile, which she did now as flashbulbs went off. She's my inspiration, Mr. Fargo told the crowd. The crowd applauded. Is Tootsie famous? Fudge asked. Yeah, just for tonight, I answered. And she probably won't ever remember. I was famous once, right, Pete? Yeah, you were famous for about a week when you rode the toddle bike for Dad's TV commercial. I remember. He looked up at me. How about you, Pete? Were you ever famous? Not yet. Don't feel bad. You're famous to me. He gave me a big smile and squeezed my hand. Thanks, Fudge. When Dad caught up with us, I said it would be cool to have a painting by Frank Fargo, especially one with Tootsie's footprints. Fudge broke away from us and reached out to touch Baby Feet Strawberry. How about this one? Dad grabbed him from behind and pulled him back. No touching, he said. Why not? Fudge asked. Because your hands might not be clean. They're clean. Look, he said, holding them up for Dad to see. Even so, Dad said, you're not allowed to touch paintings on display. Why not? Fudge asked. That's the rule, Dad said. It's a stupid rule, Fudge said. We don't say the stupid word, Dad reminded him. Yes, we do, Fudge said. We just don't say it about people. If we want to say it about people, we say turkey brain. Ask Pete, he knows. Now Fudge pointed to Baby Feet Storm. How about this one? This one would look good in my room. We can't afford these paintings, Dad said. Look at the prices. He pointed the numbers on the title cards. Those are prices, I asked. There weren't any dollar signs, just a number, followed by 3 zeros, making every painting $6 or $7 or $8,000. More zero means more money, right, Pete? I'll say. So that's good, right? Depends on if you're the seller or the buyer, I told him. Which are we? Neither, Dad said. We're friends. No zeros for Fudge, Fudge sang. Dad asked me to keep an eye on Fudge while he went to greet someone he knew. I can't believe this, I said, more to myself than Fudge. What can't you believe, Pete? That somebody's going to pay $7,000 for this painting. So, Pete, he began, and he got his greedy look in his eyes. I knew that was coming before he even said it, but he said it anyways. We could get Tootsie to do the same thing at home, and then I interrupted. Yeah, except nobody would pay us thousands of dollars for a painting. How come? Because we're not artists like Mr. Fargo. But, Pete, that doesn't make any sense. What can I say, Fudge? That's the way it is. He swung my arm up and down. We think the same way, don't we? Before I could answer, before I could say no, we don't think the same way and never will, someone came up from behind and stuck a finger in my ribs. I spun around. Gotcha, Jimmy laughed. Where you been? I asked. I've been looking everywhere for you. Yeah, it's crowded in here. That's a good sign. So what do you think? He stepped away from the paintings and studied them from a distance. He squinted, then made his fists in binoculars and peered through them. I did the same, and when I did, all those swirling colors looked like they were moving. Cool, huh? Jimmy said. Yeah, amazing. You're not thinking you could do the same, I hope. No, why would I be thinking that? I don't know, you just had a look on your face. What look? Never mind. A woman in black dress and dangling earrings shaped like skyscrapers stuck a red dot on the baby feet storm card. She looked familiar, tall and scrawny, with a lot of curly hair and really long neck. Yes, Jimmy pulled a victory fist. There goes another one. Another what? I said. Another painting. When a red dot goes up, it means that painting is sold. Wow, I said. $7,000? What's it like to know your dad is rich and famous? Rich? Fudge asked. Jimmy ignored him and eyed me. First of all, the gallery gets half of everything. Second of all, since when are you so into money? Me? Into money? I said. That's a joke. You want to see someone who's into money? Look at my brother. Fudge started singing Money, Money, Money. I love money, money, money. Then he skipped away. A minute later, someone tapped me on the shoulder. Well, 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 she said, if it isn't my old friend Peter Hatcher. It was a woman in the skyscraper earrings. She was carrying a shoulder bag with a small dog inside. As soon as I heard her voice, I recognized her. It was Giraffe Neck. This woman I knew last year when we lived in Princeton. She owned a gallery there, right near the movie theater. One of Frank Fargo's paintings hung in the window. It was called Anita's Anger. One time I went in and told Giraffe Neck I personally knew Frank Fargo, but what was she doing here? And why was she carrying a Yorkie in her bag? I reached out to pet the dog, but it barked at me. It's okay, Vinny, Jimmy said, scratching the dog behind his ears. Peter's a friend. You know her dog? I asked. Sure, I know Vinny, Jimmy said. He walks backwards even when he's barking at you. Backwards? He retreats, Giraffe Neck explained. Yeah, that's it, Jimmy said. He retreats. But he loves Jimmy, Giraffe Neck said, tousling Jimmy's hair. Vinny never barks at Jimmy. Then she was gone back to doing business. Jimmy watched her for a minute, then turned back to me. What? He said, as if I'd asked a question, which I hadn't. I didn't say anything, I told him. But you were going to. Well, yeah. Now that you mention it, didn't you say something about getting a Yorkie? Jimmy nodded. I thought so. A few minutes later, I caught a glimpse of Giraffe Neck across the room with Mr. Fargo. It looked like he was nuzzling her neck. Jimmy saw me watching them. Am I missing something here? I began. Or are your father and Giraffe Neck? They're going out, Jimmy said. They're talking about getting married. Married? Could you not say it like that? Like what? Like it's a disaster or something? I didn't say it's a disaster, I told them. I'm just surprised, that's all. I mean, I'm supposed to be your best friend, so how come you didn't say anything about your father marrying Giraffe Neck until now? It wasn't official, Jimmy said, and her name's Beverly Muldor, and if you want to know, she's pretty cool. If you say so. The only bad thing is this means my parents aren't getting back together. Did you think they would? Jimmy didn't answer. Come on, Jimmy, your parents can't stand each other. That's why they're divorced.